is right. We went out and bought a go-kart. It's right here. It's the very next day now. We got it here last night. We cut a few laps and it went home. So it's now sitting here behind me. We just knocked off work, had to head up to pretty much Noosa, Sunrise Beach or something like that. And yeah, we picked this bad boy up. We got this one. We might even try and get another one this afternoon. I want 2 of these things because we got, that's my ideas. Mate of mine, Pete's got some acreage. Well, it's more like land than acreage. It's like 20 odd acres. And we're going to make a flat track and run the go-karts. We go riding dirt bikes there all the time. So this is the idea. I'll give you a look at this bad boy. This is actually a pretty serious unit, if you ask me. I don't know anything about go-karts, but it's pretty darn cool. It's got a pretty, it's got hydraulic brakes. It's got an 8 horsepower Honda engine on it. And the rest of it's just pretty legit looking, like it's pretty hardcore. All the steering ends and everything are pretty good quality and everything looks good. Little 10-inch wheels on the front and some big fat suckers out the back. What are they, 11, 7, 10, 5, 5, so 5-inch rim. Yeah, big hydraulic brakes. It's a belt drive. It's got a 2-stage gearboxy dealie on it. I don't know, if it's fairly legit. It has no pods on it, none of the front bit. So we have to do something about that because we get the wheels into each other and we'll be in trouble. So I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to move the brake pedal assembly. Has this thing, you can pull this and you can have adjustability. And it moves the brake and the throttle backwards. But someone's made this bracket here, which means it just slides and hits the bracket, no longer works. So I need to address that. And the fuel tank situation needs to be addressed. It works, don't get me wrong, it works. But we do have the proper Honda fuel tank for it. That little fellow there. The reason it's not on there is because old mate had got this off, had made all these new linkages for the throttle. So, if the fuel tank sits down on here, this is all, his linkage system is in the way. So I either remake the linkage system and just hard mount the tank back to where it's meant to be, or I space it up and just leave everything he's done. I'm still going to work that out. Anyway, that's where we're up to. So, we'll get stuck into this thing. We'll try and get this one sorted. I'm going to try and buy another one this afternoon. We're at least going to go look at it. I've already organised to do so. So, let's see if we can get some go-karts up and running. We can take them for a rip out in the car park. Yep. Push in on it. You'll need 2 hands. Push in on it. That's it. It's a ratcheting screwdriver. That's the ticket. Undo that. Nearly there. Oh, our start stop's going to come off with it, and our throttle holder. Okay, cool. Can you pop this other bolt out that you undid? Yeah. Get that? Cool. It's full of fuel. Alright, let's get this out of the way. So this is a game the boys have developed using the welding chairs. It's a ping pong ball. Oh, there you go. They rotate the base to flick it across the workshop. Anyway, back to the go-kart. Okay, so we're still trying to work out this fuel tank dilemma. Let me show you some things. I've been at this for a hot minute. I even shut the roller door down because the sun was coming in. I made up these little tabs to extend back the mounting for the front of it. And they were too short. So I made longer ones, and they are not too short. They're quite good. And I welded some nuts and some bolts to extend these front studs. So we're in the game here. God, this has been annoying. I really want to fix this, but I'm not going to. I decided if it works, it stays. So we just need to get the fuel tank on. I trimmed this down and tried to have the tank hovering lower, but it wasn't going to work, unfortunately. I really want to change all this. I don't like this linkage being too close to here. It's not meant to be there. It's meant to be on another hole out further. And the throttle needs to be set up better, but we're not doing that today. We're not going to get it right, we're going to get it running. Because I still have to get the pedals to slide backwards, so that's the next issue. Anyway, I went and got some bits for this. Went and did some shopping. We got some new fuel line, which is good. And some new filters, because that one there is gunked. Look at that. Can you see the garbage that's in there? That is some nasty. Anyway, that's done for. It's a nice new one. That was a little bit of work, but I got it there. So you can see I got my little spacers on the back here that transfer the back of the tank up. My little stud extenders on the front. Now we space out the tank, gives us clearance for our throttle arrangement, and this spring here to be in there as well. And then I got a new fuel line, a new filter, and it's the existing fuel line there. So fuel system is back in the game. We've got to work out this front pedal assembly. So we're getting somewhere here. What was this on here? Ooh. It went like that. I don't know. I actually paid no attention to rip that off. Put the air cleaner back in it. So I'm going to need that where this thing's going, that's for sure. Air cleaner back in, and we'll move on to the front, I think. We'll put some fuel in this. That's what we've got to work out there. That bracket that goes to the gas pedal needs to be altered so that the center that holds the whole pedal assemblies can slide backwards. And the kids can actually reach the darn pedals, because I actually bought this for them, not me. So, yeah, I need to make that work, is what I'm saying. Anyway, that's alright. I'll get this back on here. Now that the fuel system's proper again, we're good, because I crashed this. Well, I didn't crash. I skidded this last night, and that whole fuel system on those aluminium uprights, those uprights there, the whole thing slid sideways and it came off and covered me in fuel. So anyway, that fixes that. Oh, where am I? I'm not zoomed out enough. That fixes that issue. Let's move on to this one over here and get that sorted. So the problem is Ace can barely reach the pedals. Oh, he can skid it though. Go again! He's going to sit all the way forward like that. So that's my next thing to fix. But the fuel tank works and runs on that, so that's yeah, that's good. You ready to rip this thing, Dash?
Oh yeah.
Yeehaw, it's pretty cool. Good. He's very cautious. Ace is less cautious. He's just all go. It's 8 horsepower. It actually fairly rips. Like when you really stand on it and let it wind up, it gets really hooting. It's a ton of fun. There's not really enough room here to get much use out of it though, because this thing rips. It's a little slow to take off, but it really winds out. Alright, let's have a look at this throttle cable. There's also a hole in the muffler here I've got to address. We'll get to that. So the throttle cable right now is on this side here and he's made a bracket. You can see this bit here, it's meant to be in the center, and that way when you pull this pin up to slide the whole assembly back and forth, it'll move with it. So we need to rectify that. There's a few things going on. I think I got it worked out. How gnarly is this setup, by the way? So all of this assembly here, which has the hydraulic brakes built into it, you pull up on this, which I'm sure was a nicer lever once, and you got all these allocations for different positions you can have it set in, depending on who's riding it. Really, I've never seen anything like that. I don't know if that's normal or not, but it's pretty cool. This is where our throttle cable is meant to be connected, and you've got these bits here, where you would cable tie your throttle cable to there. But it doesn't seem to have a proper mounting for it that I've seen yet, but it clearly goes to this bit here, and that's your throttle, instead of what they've done over here with this little bracket arrangement. So I've got to try and, I think I'm going to make something that comes off the side of this, the mount for the reservoir. It's in the perfect line for it, and the cable can come up through this area here where it's obviously designed to do so. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't think it's going to be long enough though, and I kind of feel like I want a more hardcore cable. I'm going to play with this and see if I can get it right. New discovery. These have been made. They're not meant to be here. And they're a bit higher, which is fine. It actually works better for the kids. But this is going to interfere. Oh, where am I? This is going to interfere if I try and slide it backwards. Well, I tried to slide it backwards and it did interfere. But I think I can cut them back to about here with the air saw. So I think we might hack this off either side. That's going to give us the bit to slide backwards. And then I can work out the cable. Excellent. Now, I did start using the air saw on this side and it took ridiculously long. So that side was with the Cipro saw and it's much better. Now, that gives us enough room. I'm going to have to undo this, but this will pull this pin This will all slide backwards now to the right spot. Well, it's been looped into there the wrong. Anyway, I'll play around with this. We'll get it right. I struck a problem. A very dumb, annoying problem, and I'm not happy about it. But we've come to a grinding halt. Let's have a look. So I was trying to redo I moved all this back. It's all the way back on this last peg, and it's got a retaining bolt you can put in there, so I thought that's cool. It sort of locks it down and makes it way more solid. Happy with that part, that went well. I re-manipulated this bracket so that I could put the throttle cable back here, because it's not long enough to go over here. I'm gonna have to get a new cable. Now I was doing this bolt here back up, and it's a freaking hardware bolt. Just a cheap, nasty garbage bolt. So my rant is, if you are finding yourself buying hardware bolts, not knowing any better, then two things. A, just stop, walk away, and don't touch anything with metal or mechanics ever again. It's in everyone's best interest. Or secondly, learn this now. Do not use hardware bolts on mechanical items. They're garbage. They don't even match up with the right head size for things. So that's my rant. I'm gonna have to go buy some parts. I think I'll have to go to a bike shop and get this part here working for the meantime, just to get this hooked back up. And I think I'm going to order a proper car-sized throttle cable for this bit here, and then I'm probably going to redo all the throttle in here, because it's really not very good. This just sort of sits on the face of this. The zip tie back here holds it roughly in the right position. There's a couple of grooves in this, and it's pop riveted. So I think we need to fix all this properly. So yes, anyways, I'll jump online, see if I can find some stuff. For right now, I'm going to go buy the bicycle fitting for that, and that'll make that work again. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm going to go and do that. But this afternoon, we're going to go look at another go-kart. So stay with us, this video could drag on a little bit. We have to go look at another go-kart, because apparently we need two now. Ace doesn't really fit this one very well, so I can't just buy one and he misses out. So now I'll go buy another one. We got two of everything else. We got two dirt bikes. So let's just go get two go-karts, I guess. I'm not actually mad about it. I make it sound like it's a bad thing. I'm not even mad. How cool is that? We get to have two freaking go-karts. So yeah, anyway, that's where we're at. It's a beautiful day. We'll go jump in the truck, and we're going to go look at that, and I'll buy some parts for that. And during the week, we're going to go an oil change on it. For a little sucky to suck all the old oil out. We bought some Bel-Ray oil. I know, it's probably overkill, but it'll be good. Spark plug, we'll do one of those as well. So that's where we're at. Let's go get a go. Yeah, we bought the second one. So that's, yeah, that's a win. Brakes are terrible on it. Yeah, it's very fast. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix the brakes on it. Oh yeah, it rips, eh? This one's way quicker for some reason, I don't know why. Anyway, here we are. Well, this is all escalated, I've got to be honest. We started off with one go-kart, we now have two, as you saw. One go-kart, two go-karts. Yeah. Look, I do have two kids, and my youngest boy doesn't fit in this one. He can't reach the pedals. He can't actually reach the pedals in that one either, even though it's a smaller kart and it was going to be a kid-sized one. He still doesn't reach the pedals very well. However, I can modify the pedals in this one. I moved these pedals because they got a slide, but they still really weren't enough for him to reach the pedals. So, update. Let me spin you around. I'm going to show you where I'm at. I did a lot of work yesterday, so I'll bring you up to speed on that, and then we'll go through what we're going to do tonight. Right, this is it. This is the new kart. As you can see, it is a little bit different to that one. We got a 5.5 horsepower engine. This one's chain driven. Currently doesn't have a chain because I was ripping it down the street on a closed circuit area where there was no illegal stuff happening, and I snapped the chain off. And turns out the chain was absolute junk. I kind of knew that. I have made some modifications to the rear end to raise it. It was really low. So this hub piece here, the bearing the axle runs on, was all the way at the top. So I had to notch the lower section of this support out and drop the axle down to raise the kart up. And that led to the brakes needing to be redone. But the brakes had to be redone anyway, because this post here used to be up against the inside of this part of the caliper, which meant this side of the brakes didn't pull in at all, and this side was not enough to really slow the thing down very well. So now we've got proper brake activation. I pulled this all apart, lubricated it, cleaned these up, hit that fella with the angle grinder, made him nice and shiny. So that is it. This tyre's still flat too. I've got to work that out. It goes down pretty quick too. It's an issue I've got to deal with before the weekend. So this kart's pretty much ready to rip, other than I need to replace the chain, which I have a brand new one of, got it today. And I just got to move the pedals back. I think someone's bent them, because this is a very small go-kart, and I definitely think it is a kid's kart. It doesn't look like it's been modified, but maybe these have been bent or something. They're just too far forwards. So I'm just going to make a piece that comes off the back so that he can reach the brake and the accelerator. So that's going to sort this one out. Move back to this one. This is the update, all right? So bear with me, I'm going as quick as I can. This thing I've got ripping pretty good now. We made a few modifications, got the fuel tank on it, sorted out the pedal assembly. That's all good. The brake cable wasn't, the throttle cable wasn't working very well where it was, and this bent bracket. And it's in two pieces. It comes apart in the center there like that. It just had issues. It's meant to run up the center of this and lock onto this piece here. So you can see the little zip tie holes. I've actually used one of them back here. And it's going to be better. So I've got a new cable for that too, and that should make this one mint. This one actually is really, really good unit. The other issue with this one is, which I forgot to explain, come forward a little bit, is the centrifugal clutch over here, which apparently is meant to be loose. I know, it seems broken, but I'm told that is normal. When the shoes fly out, they grab, and you can tighten them up, but if you over-tighten them, it's bad. I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me, but apparently it is. It's very close there, but I just want to cover that up a little bit. Someone's made a bit of a chain guard, but we need to do better. So, on the list of things I need to do, this is now day 3 of owning go-karts. Chain, should have a brand new chain, and sort out the pedals on this kart. And this bad boy is ready to rip. It actually goes quite hard. Smaller engine, better gearing, rips. This one here, much larger engine, but quite a small rear sprocket. Doesn't take off as well, but definitely goes faster in the top end. So I don't know what that's about. Mad hydraulic brakes on this thing. Look at that unit. Big vented rotor. This kart is serious. This is quite old, but that's a serious unit. This is a bit more basic, very basic brakes and everything. Right, anyway, that's where I'm at. It's been a lot. This has escalated more than I thought it would. Anyway, look, a long story short is we only wanted one. But then I realised I have 2 children, and one of my children can't reach the pedals very well. So therefore, we needed 2. They were both very cheap. I'm going to put that out there. That's why they've got issues. That one was $600, and this one here was $700. So, I'm in this for very little money to go and have a very good silly time. So that's my way of seeing it. And the kids are going to love it. They're going to have such a ball in these things. It's going to be ridiculous. We'll do a video on the end of all this of how this all goes down. But first, let's get them running. And like that, it has a new chain, be it all that needs tensioning. But there's a bolt underneath that motor clamp down there, where it clamps around the frame. I have to undo that, so I need it on a bench to do that, or some chocks of wood. I'll do that at some point, before we do too much. I think what I'm going to do, is hopefully this gets us back up and running. What I'm going to do is replace this drive. I think we'll throw a new clutch on it, because it does look a little bit worn. And a new sprocket, because this one's made of plastic. Which I find very bizarre, but nonetheless it seems to be doing the job. Replace the drive in it. I feel like that would be a better option for this unit. That'll be fine, parts are available, we can do that. So that's fine. We'll get a new sprocket, new drive sprocket for down here, and a new clutch for the top. That'll sort that out. Let's move on to the pedals. I've got some ideas. I'm running with a theory here. I was going to add a piece that just came out this way, but if you look at them, they can be swapped from side to side. And the loopholes for the cables are facing forwards, not backwards, which you'd think they'd go on the back side. I think what's happened is someone's moved these around. This one's meant to be over here, and vice versa. Because then they'd sit back here, and being this is a kid's kart, that would work. Because I barely fit in this thing. Like, my legs want to be way up the front here. I barely fit in it. So I do believe it's a kid's kart. Plus, it's considerably smaller. I don't know if I'm getting both side by side. It's considerably smaller than this big daddy of a thing. This thing's a behemoth. Even the frame on it. I love this kart. This thing's badass. Look at the construction of this thing. Like, look at the pedal set. That just seems insane. Look at the size of the bloody pedals. And then look at this little toy. Look at this wee little fella. So I think that's what it is. I'm going to swap them over and see if that works. I believe I'm wrong with this theory. Because even the angle of this sets it up as a stop. And if it's all the way on, It's a bit janky. I don't think that's the way it was meant to be. I think it was right the first time. So I'll just go back to my old idea of, I thought about straightening this back out. I think what I'll do is just, I'll put it back on this side. It'll make more sense. Over you go. Oh, it's very hard one hand reaching over, but anyway, goes there. I was just going to bring a piece that came off of this edge here, bend it this way with a flat on it. That way he can reach it. And one day if we want to go back to when he grows, we can just cut that off and we'll have this piece still there. So I'm going to go back to that idea. One of the benefits of having an exhaust shop is I can bend bars. I've got a piece of 12mm stainless steel rod for making exhaust hangers. We're just going to give it a 90-degree bend. Bam! Scoosh more. Oh yeah, that's mint. That's what we want. That should do the ticket. Tell you what, work on the ground's not much fun. I reckon just like that. You can easily push on that. Probably needs to be up there a bit more, doesn't it? Should I put it? I might put another bend in it. It's probably a little bit low there. No, he's only got little feet and I've got big feet. So maybe for little feet, that's the right height. He's not here right now. It's actually night time. It's another shed night. So we're just going to have to roll with whatever I come up with, I guess. I guess that'll probably do. I can always bend it with a shifter later if we need to have some more leverage. Because this, if I do this, I can either break these welds or just cut it off here in the future, and we've got the stock pedals where they should be. I feel like I'm just going to go with right there. I think for little feet, that'll be mint. Probably bring it, yeah, about there. I reckon there. I'm feeling that. Same on that side. So it'll have to be bent down a little bit because that might be adjustable. We could probably move that. They got little stoppers on them. We could probably move the stopper. Okay, I'm gonna roll with that. I'll make it. Ooh, dropped it. Make another one. I'm gonna weld them on. Recap time. U-chain is fitted and now tensioned. I think that should be pretty good. Looks like it's all where it should be. I haven't covered up that yet. Gotta do that. As in that clutch drive is right next to you where you are. This is going well, I think. Got this all rehooked up. So we got the throttle back here now, and the brakes way back. So I'm hoping that sort of solves that issue of it being, not so good for little legs. We should probably turn our attention to that. I still have the throttle cable to do on that, and it's already like 8 o'clock at night. It's just working things out takes me some time. Got to play around with things, make sure it's going to work, and the geometry will be right. Anyway, I think this will work. That'll be fine. Certainly happy with the brand new chain. That's a bonus. So let's move on to that primary cover, or whatever you want to call it, the clutch cover. That bit there, that's right next to your elbows. This is that moment for that terrible joke of cardboard aided design. Anyway, I made a piece of cardboard as a template. It's a very simple arrangement. I just want a little extra length here because I think I can trim that and do that better. But this is the shape I need, so when it folds, it'll go like that. It's going to be one-handed fun. And that'll curl around the corner. I don't have any, I could weld that, I suppose. I'm going to do it out of alloy, and I think that'll be more than fine. Just fold it till it touches. I might take it if I get excited. If I run out of time, I won't. Anyway, that's what it is. Cut this out, work out how to fold it, and we'll go from there. I'm aware this is not pretty, but as an exhaust shop, I don't have anything to bend this with. It's 2mm alloy, I think. Alloy is a soft metal, right? So this should just bend. I've clamped it. I'm just going to drive around the corner with a hammer. Might find a bigger hammer. Anyways, stay tuned. We'll see if this works. Well, just about everything fell off the bench, but with this hammer, not the little hammer, that happened. It's actually really quite easy to do. Now I need to make this piece come over and touch this piece. Oh, where am I? This piece touch this piece. And I've got a series of pen lines there, which are going to be my fold lines, and then we need to trim the excess. I just figured having more is better to be looking at it than looking for it. So that's what I'm doing. Let's go bend this sucker. For my next bend, we have a new bench. I did some notches as well. It wasn't clearing past the seat. Now it clears past the seat and the end of the shaft. So that's cool. Bend this one down. I thought it was going to be a gradual slope. I just had another look. It's actually pretty much just a clean bend. So, same piece of material, same hammer, and same idiot. Mint. There it is, my little alloy cover. Just so that if anything ever goes wrong with the clutch, or if you were to actually stick your arm in there, your shirt on doesn't get ripped off, just put a couple of nutserts in there and bolted it straight to this piece of angle iron that was already here. I've got this little bit here, which I'm going to do tomorrow now, just to fill this little corner in. Something like that. I'll weld him in there. Yeah, my welding was terrible, by the way. I've only ever welded alloy 2 times in my life. And both times someone set the machine for me. And I don't understand aluminium welding. You got to clean the material, and there's a bunch of procedures I'm not used to. So I can TIG weld stainless and titanium and steel. And I can braze and I can oxy weld. I can do a whole bunch of things. But aluminium, I don't know why. That concept does not gel with me whatsoever. I think it's the tedious prep work and all the stuff you do there. I don't know. It just doesn't really gel with me. And I made a mott through that. That was pretty bad. Blue holes, backtracked, filled. Anyway, it's welded. It'll do. So yeah, I'm going to put that fill in piece. As for this kart, it is finished. That's it. It's done. It's going to have to do. Brakes are redone. Axle got lowered to raise the base of the frame up. New chains going on. Retension the engine, locked it back down. Sorted out the brake and the accelerator pedal. Actually, the other way around. So let's sign this one off. That's done. Let's move on to this bad boy. Get its throttle cable in. I've got some bits for that. Got a new outer sheath, a new inner sheath, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to rob parts out of that to make it work. I have finished up the little cover. It sticks out a little bit too far, I think. For me anyway. The kids will probably be fine. But it encloses the whole drive system, so no one can get caught up in that. I also put this little seat cover in. It didn't go on. It was meant to go over the seat. But it did not do that. So it goes in, I guess. I don't know, it's better than nothing. It was a bit uncomfortable in there. So that is what it is. Just a cheapy one, but it'll do the trick for now, I think. So I'm going to call this kart done. I really should have had choice of blue and red. For some reason, I put red in the blue kart. Anyway, whatever's. It is done. So the pedals worked out really well. That's all good. Recapping here. Brakes relocated, axle relocated to give it some ground clearance, which it did do. This was basically on the ground before. It's now got good clearance. Brand new chain, so I broke that. We've got the guard going on there. I am going to add a return spring to the throttle. It's a little floaty and kind of stays with a little bit of RPM. It drops, but we can do better. That's this unit done. This was pretty good when I got it. So all we've done is just made a few alterations to suit our application. Now we're back to this bad boy. Everything's pretty well ready to rip on this, except I didn't like the throttle cable. So we're going to set it up properly so it works on the pedal assembly like it should. So that'll be this one. So I think I'm close. I'm getting there. This has been a journey. It's night 3, 4. Picked them up Friday night. We didn't do much Friday night. We did most of the day Saturday. Then we did Sunday afternoon on that one over there. After we went and picked it up Saturday afternoon. I've really got to. I should have written this down. I did last night till 9:30. That was just tedious stuff. And then tonight's Tuesday. So from Friday to Tuesday night. Hopefully this solves it. There's a few other things I want to do. I don't know if I will do. Anyway, let's not go too far with that. Let's get a throttle cable in this bad boy and rip it around the car park again. It's sick. These are my bits. I got a new piece of cable, inner and outer. I don't know why they sell it like that, but apparently that's how it comes. So I got that. Now this I bought, this is 20 bucks. Good old China, eh? I want this piece here off of it. That's going to go on the side of this. And then on the top of that, we're going to steal this bit here, which should have the bit where the brake line goes through. It's a bit tight. And that will give me the mounting points I need so this works smoothly. So yes, alright, fiddle this up and see what I got. This is pretty much never ending. But I'm going to let you know. Oh, fuck, I'm tired. This has been a mission. This is where I'm up to though. We have a throttle cable. It works. Whatever's. Glorious. I knew the muffler had a hole in it, so I pulled it off, but it's not so much that it has a hole, that it is holes. So that's kind of shot. I can't get a new one before the weekend. I have this. It's a little genset-ish muffler that these little things we keep in stock. So what I'm thinking, and this is not what I want to be doing, is having a little wicked exhaust on this thing. Because really, I kind of have to. I can't get one of those before the weekend, and And I'm not going to let that stop us, basically, is what I'm saying. So, I think I'm making a new exhaust for this particular kart. Tired. It's just like a couple of days of just non-stop finding crap wrong with these things. Which I know, I bought the cheapest ones I could find online. And this is what you get. I'm fine with that. But the deadline of the weekend is where I'm falling over, man. It's currently Tuesday night at about 8 o'clock. So, yeah. Yep, I've got tonight and I've got Thursday night to make this dream a reality. Thankfully, the little blue kart is ready to rip. Chest ridden, it's pretty cool. I think it really hammers. And this is the last thing on this one as well. So, I'm just going to have to grin and bear it and get after it. So this is what's happened. The old muffler was never going to work, and the other idea of me boring a hole in that was never going to work. So I took that to my father's house. He has a milling machine, of all things, to have in your garage, and we put a hole in the center of it. So I want to use this big thick flange because these studs are quite long. Put a hole in the center of that fella, and we made a flange. This is what it looks like. Granted, that's probably a little extreme and could add something laser cut, but I needed this done ASAP. We were out of time, so that is what it is, and it's now done. And it's actually not too loud. It's a good little muffler. It sounds kind of cool. Doesn't sound as lawnmower-ish, I suppose. So that's pretty neat. That means this kart's ready to go. I'm happy with everything. New throttle cables in it. I'm probably going to order new carbies for both of them. I found out that there's a little carbie you can buy that makes these things considerably better. We'll get to that in the next rendition of this. This one's good to go too. Very happy with all of this. We've just ripped them around the car park and they are going strong. Way better than I thought they would. A mate of mine came down and gave me a hand. You know, testing purposes. We had to run them hard. So we set up a circuit. We ran them hard out there for quite a few laps. They hammer. They're so much fun. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. Thank you very much for following if you've made it this far and all my pieced together sections of doing go-karts. It's been a ton of fun. I think the biggest takeaway here is, yes, I could have gone out and bought some really fancy ones. Actually, I couldn't. I don't have enough money for that. But let's say you did. You can go buy some really fancy ones. But for me, a lot of the fun is actually making these things go the way I want them to and get them up and running. So there's been that, and I really think that dumb fun is the best fun. So I'm cool with that. We're going to have a ton of fun this weekend. I'll probably film it. So we'll see how that all goes down. Hopefully it don't break. But I'll probably do a follow-up video. We'll see how we go. That's it. Thank you very much for watching this shed night. I've got to move on to doing some rust proofing on that because that is going out for a roof lining tomorrow. I'm not going to film anything, but there'll be an update coming soon on the gas project, so stay tuned for that, I guess. Anyways, thanks again. See you later.